Welcome to English Easy Hub. Join us as we ignite the flames of your English learning journey together.
Please subscribe to watch and embark on your English learning journey. Don't miss out on the exciting content. In this dialogue, Simon, a student eager to improve his speaking skills, seeks advice from his teacher on how to enhance his language fluency through role-playing. Role-playing, a method that simulates real-life situations, is presented as a powerful tool for language learners. Simon is particularly interested in how he can move beyond simply memorizing vocabulary and phrases and instead practice using language in context. Throughout the conversation, the teacher explains the importance of not just mastering words, but also incorporating emotions, body language, and situational awareness into language practice. The teacher also addresses practical tips for managing nervousness, choosing between group or one-on-one role-playing, and integrating role-play into a balanced language learning routine.
Hi, teacher. I've been thinking a lot about how I can improve my speaking skills, especially in situations where I need to interact naturally. I've heard that role-playing can help with this by creating realistic contexts. Could you explain how role-playing can improve our speaking abilities?
Absolutely. Role-playing is a fantastic tool because it puts you in a specific context and forces you to use the language as you would in real life. It's not just about memorizing phrases, but about practicing how to use them naturally in a given situation. When you role-play, you step into a different role, which allows you to explore various emotions, tones, and reactions that come with real-world interactions. This helps you develop a more dynamic and flexible speaking style.
That sounds interesting. But what if I'm just memorizing sentences without really understanding how to use them? How do I make sure I'm not just repeating words but actually creating a realistic scenario?
Great point. The key to effective role-playing is to immerse yourself in the context of the situation. It's not enough to just say the words. Think about the scenario. Where is it happening? Who are you talking to? What's the relationship between you and the other person? For example, if you're practicing ordering food at a restaurant, you should think about how you'd behave in that setting. Would you be polite? Would you be in a hurry? These details help you connect with the language on a deeper level and make your speaking more natural.
I see. So, it's about more than just the dialogue, it's about the whole situation, right? But what if I'm practicing something I'm not familiar with, like a formal business conversation or negotiation? How do I approach role-playing those situations?
Excellent question. When you're practicing something unfamiliar, like a business negotiation, the preparation becomes even more important. Start by researching the scenario. Learn specific terminology or phrases related to that situation. But don't stop there. Understand the dynamics. In a negotiation, for example, it's not just about what you say, but about reading the room, understanding power dynamics, and knowing when to push or pull. Imagine the pressure, the stakes. How would you feel? The more you think through these details, the more real and effective your role-playing will be.
That makes sense. So, it's about creating the right mental picture and context. I guess understanding the emotions behind the words would also make the language more effective, right?
Exactly. Emotions play a huge role in communication. The same sentence can have different meanings depending on the emotion behind it. For instance, "I don't agree with you" can be said with frustration, curiosity, or calmness, and each tone changes the entire message. A big part of role-playing is practicing how you feel in these situations. This helps you understand how emotions influence your tone, body language, and even the rhythm of your speech.
I hadn't thought about it like that before. It's really the emotional layer that makes the language come to life. How can I practice this? Are there any tips for expressing different emotions while speaking?
Absolutely. One way to practice emotions in speech is by starting with simple sentences and experimenting with different emotional tones. For example, take a simple sentence like, "I don't think that's a good idea," and try saying it in different emotional states: anger, surprise, joy, doubt, etc. Each time, focus on how your tone changes. Pay attention to your facial expressions, your posture, and your breathing. You'll notice that your body naturally adjusts to the emotion, and your speech will flow differently. Another method is to visualize a situation that triggers a specific emotion and practice speaking as if you were actually experiencing it. Let's say you're role-playing a situation where you have to give a presentation in front of a large crowd. Imagine the nervousness you'd feel and practice managing that emotion while speaking clearly and confidently.
Oh, I see. So, it's about consciously adjusting my tone and body language based on the emotions I'm feeling. That could really help with fluency and sound more natural. But what if I'm nervous or unsure during a conversation, even in a role-play scenario? How can I overcome that anxiety?
Nervousness is totally normal, Simon. It's something we all experience, even in real-life situations. The key is to learn how to manage it. One technique is called anchoring. It's a psychological trick where you associate a physical gesture with a feeling of calm. For example, you might press your thumb and forefinger together or take a deep breath before speaking. Over time, your brain will connect that gesture with a sense of confidence and calmness. When you feel nervous in a real conversation, you can use this anchor to ground yourself.
I really like the idea of anchoring, using a physical gesture to calm myself. I'll definitely try that. But when it comes to practicing with others, do you think role-playing works better in a group setting or with just one partner?
Both group and one-on-one role-play have their advantages. It depends on the type of scenario you're practicing. If you're preparing for something like a group discussion, a meeting, or a debate, practicing in a group is useful because you get to experience different personalities and responses. It's great for learning how to adapt your communication style depending on who you're speaking to. However, for more focused practice, like a one-on-one conversation or a presentation, it's often better to practice with a partner. A partner can give you direct feedback, and you can concentrate on your individual performance. One-on-one role-playing helps you work on specific skills, like pronunciation, tone, and emotional expression, without the distraction of multiple voices.
I see. So, practicing in a group helps with group dynamics and handling different voices, but a partner helps with refining individual skills. That's really helpful to know. But how often should I role-play? Is it something I should do every day or just occasionally?
It's not about doing it every day, but incorporating it regularly into your language practice. If you practice role-playing every day, it could become repetitive and lose its effectiveness. Aim for a few sessions each week. This gives you time to absorb what you've practiced and reflect on it. The most important thing is to vary your scenarios to challenge yourself and keep things fresh. You can also use role-playing to simulate real situations that you might face soon, like a job interview or a meeting. That way, it's directly relevant to your life. But remember, role-playing should complement other language learning activities, like listening, reading, and writing. It's all about balance.
Ah, so it's not about overdoing it but about mixing it with other activities and keeping it varied. That makes a lot of sense. I'm excited to try role-playing more often now, especially with all the emotional and situational layers you've mentioned. Thanks so much for your guidance, teacher.
You're welcome, Simon. I'm really excited to see how role-playing enhances your speaking skills. Remember to enjoy the process, and don't be afraid to experiment with new scenarios. The more you practice, the more natural and confident you'll become. You've got a strong foundation already, and I'm sure you'll see great results.
Thanks again. I'll definitely keep that in mind and make role-playing a regular part of my practice. I appreciate all the tips and guidance.
It's my pleasure, Simon. Keep up the great work, and feel free to ask if you have more questions down the road. I'm sure you'll do wonderfully.
The core value of this dialogue lies in the realization that language learning isn't just about speaking correctly. It's about speaking naturally and effectively in different contexts. Role-playing helps bridge the gap between textbook knowledge and real-world application by enabling learners to engage with language in authentic, emotionally charged situations. The discussion emphasizes the importance of emotional intelligence in communication, the role of body language, and the ability to manage nerves in live interactions. Moreover, the teacher advises Simon to approach role-playing as a regular, varied practice, rather than a one-time exercise, to develop both fluency and confidence. Ultimately, the dialogue underscores that learning a language is not just a matter of acquiring vocabulary, but of fully inhabiting the scenarios where that language is used, making the experience more dynamic, practical, and enjoyable.
Thanks for watching. Remember to subscribe, like, comment, and share to keep the English learning journey alive.